Welcome. I just wanted to hop on here and read some scripture to you, just maybe minister to you from a place of wherever you seem to be having a need right now in a human sense, right? Something I've been working with lately that I learned from a mentor of mine, and she's passed since couple maybe a year ago. Lona, she was my spiritual mentor, very, very wise lady. She talked about how man's resources are not limited by social, civic, political, economic, or religious codes. So, in other words, it doesn't matter if you don't have the right opportunity right now. It doesn't matter if you don't have anything on the peripheral. Your resources are not limited. So, if you need a job, if you need an income, if you need somebody special in your life, if you need anything, your resources are not limited. And demonstrating this is something that you can work on. And I've been working on this as well, too. I've been working with this. And what I came to understand is that the principle of love, okay, because God is love and God is principle, it must manifest itself whole and complete. So, in other words, if we see a deficiency in our human experience, that's not the true account of God's creation. The principle must manifest itself as whole and complete. Now, let's look at some scripture here. And I opened up to Psalm 36 just randomly. And I want to speak on that and minister from there. An oracle is within my heart concerning the sinfulness of the wicked. There is no fear of God before his eyes, for in his eyes he flatters himself, too much to detect or hate his sin. The words of his mouth are wicked and deceitful. He has ceased to be wise and to do good. Even on his bed he plots evil. He commits himself to a sinful course and does not reject what is wrong. Your love, O Lord, reaches to the heavens, your faithfulness to the skies. Your righteousness is like the mighty mountains, your justice like the great deep. O Lord, you preserve both man and beast. How priceless is your unfailing love. Both nigh and low among men find refuge in the shadow of your wings. They feast on the abundance of your house. You give them drink from your river of delights. For with you is the fountain of life. In your light we see light. Continue your love to those who know you, your righteousness to the upright in heart. May the foot of the proud not come against me, nor the hand of the wicked drive me away. See how the evildoers have lie fallen, thrown down, not able to rise. Well, that said a lot of things. It talked about the wicked nature of, I guess, carnality and its wicked nature, how people will resort to anything to get ahead. They'll they'll lie to you, they'll swindle you, they'll do whatever they have to do, and that is a predatory nature that is not the nature of God. And then it comes along here and it talks about how God's love reaches the heavens, his faithfulness the skies, the righteousness like the mighty mountains, and justice like the great deep. So everywhere we go, God is. And we were talking previously before I read the scripture about this idea that man's resources are not limited. And that's because God is everywhere. So his qualities are everywhere. So his quality of care, which is love, it's caring and sharing and giving, protecting. Those qualities are everywhere. And they are yours right now. And all you have to do is set your faith on him, his promises, his word. It says, how priceless is your unfailing love. That was my favorite part. Because this unfailing love is the real secret. God's love always has, always does, and always will meet every human need. God's love is what you're looking for. Now, you might think you're looking for a new job. You might think you're looking for maybe even just more money, more whatever it is. I'm missing something. I'm looking for something. What you're really looking to demonstrate is the truth that God's love is unfailing. And that love itself is what supplies all needs. Now, it says here, when men find refuge in the shadow of your wings, they feast on the abundance of your house. So we come into the knowledge that God, all in all, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, and omniactive, the four omnis. So God is all presence, all power, all mind, and all activity. And we put that into our thought. And when we do that and we stay with that thought, we may be tested, and we will be tested. It might come down to the last minute. And sometimes it will. It'll come right down to the last minute where you'll think, I don't think God's coming through this time. I just, I've been there 1,001 times. I was just there recently. I didn't think God was going to come through. I knew he would. He's never failed, but my human sense was like, he ain't coming through. Something's changed. It's like, Matthew, something's changed. God's not God anymore. See, our human trouble is not even real, and we can't take it seriously. Whatever it looks like it is, you cannot take it seriously if it doesn't have a good report to it. Because God's unfailing love means exactly that. It means unfailing. So the bread here to chew on for this message today is, think of the four omnis, that God is all presence, all power, all mind, and all activity. And think of the unfailing love as the essence of that activity. What is God doing? Well, God is loving you in an unfailing way. And then what is your relationship to God? Your relationship is, you are a son of God. God is well pleased with you. Son means descendant, so don't worry if you're not male or, a boy, whatever. Son just means a descendant. You originate from that source. So think of it this way. God, what is God? Okay, let me segue. If you're thinking about how to solve your human problem, don't do that. That's what I mean. Don't try to solve the human problem. The first book I ever wrote was called Allow, Mastering the Law of Least Effort to Receive Your Desires. Allow is about surrendering. Allow is about, okay, I have a human need, give it up to God. Just give it away. Stop trying to figure it out. First step is stop trying to figure it out, because that's creating doubt, which is the opposite of trust. And trust is how you produce the miracle. So take your doubt and toss it out. It's your problem, God, because there is no problem. Take it. It's a sin. Get rid of it. It's trying to claim a denial of your unfailing love. You can either have unfailing love in this moment, which meets all human needs, or you can have your problem. Which one do you want to chew on in your thought? I say it's easier to go down believing in God than it is to sit and worry about something that you're not going to get there from there. I know it's tempting. I do it all the time and I have to correct myself all the time. Something comes up and it seems very troubling. And then I think to myself, is God gone now? Did God change? And then I remember, oh, this is right. I'm just being tested to see if I will trust again. So then I pick myself back up and I look for something that's true about God. Well, I know he's omnipresent, he's omniactive, he's omnipotent and omniscient. God knows all, has all, does all, and is all. There is nothing but God. Okay, got that part down. Well, what is God doing? Well, the Psalm 36, unfailing love. Unfailing. Imagine this. Think of something that cannot fail. What an amazing discovery. Would you ever think that you'd discover something in this world that would not fail ever? Well, you have something like that. You have God, the ever-present good in your life. And it's because of love that it's already yours. It's given to you. Now, the next thing you think of is what's your relationship to this unfailing love? You're a son. You're beloved. You are the child. You are the child of this unfailing love. This is the correct way to approach what seems to be the problem. So let me recap one last time. Our human mind wants to say, I have a problem. How do I figure it out? When you start from a error, you end up with error. So if the basis of your thinking is flawed from the start, it's going to be flawed at the end. You've put in some miscalculations. So the solution is going to be no solution at all. And worst of all, if you add human willpower to it and try to force your solution, then what you do is you squeeze life and create unintended consequences out, which creates side effects. You get the side effects of sin. Take that off the table, whatever the problem seems to be, and look at what is God. Well, the best way to know what God is just look at the Bible, take a scripture, take a promise, think about it in a meditative state. You don't have to do as much in this world as you think you do. You can be still and know that I am God. You can take time to meditate and take 5 minutes out of your day, be the best 5 minutes of your entire day, and just be still and think to yourself, what is God? It says he's unfailing love right there. Unfailing love. That's God. Unfailing love. That's what God is. That key word is unfailing. It just makes me just think like I've discovered a lottery ticket, like the real lottery, not the fake one that bankrupts your consciousness, but the real lottery is discovering that God is unfailing love because love supplies every human need. Catch that. Unfailing love. Then think about what is your relationship to that unfailing love? And look out from there and see what God sees. And take this approach to your human trouble in an unworried state. Take no fear as to the consequences of what will happen if you let go of thinking about the problem and trying to take action on it and all the human will that is applied to that. Take that all off the table. I promise you that this will change the way you live forever when you see that the demonstration that you're looking for is as easy as stopping your human thought, stopping your human will, turning to God. What is God? Putting that in your thought, letting it be the principle of how you're looking out. Then thinking of what is you, what are you in relation to God? And then look at that as the allness of what is present right here. So, right where this problem claims to be, God is here, and man is here, and man is the Son of God, and God is unfailing love, and unfailing love meets every human need. And right where the problem claimed to be, what in reality is happening is God is love, God is all mind, all power, all principle, all activity, all everything. And man is the reflection of God, reflecting that perfect love, and nothing changes it ever. Full stop. End of the story. It never changes. Never. Unfailing love. And then be still. Don't move. Don't be taken off that truth. Don't let it get shaken. Don't get shaken out. This is a poker face game. The lie that there's a problem here is trying to play poker with you. It's trying to call your bluff. It's trying to call a bluff on you. It's looking at you like, I'm going to double down. What it does is it takes all of its chips and puts it on the table. And it says, yeah, yeah, I got you. And you have to be like, I don't think that you actually have anything in that hand. In fact, I know you don't have anything in that hand. And you know why I know? Because the deck is stacked in my favor and I've got the entire hand because I know that God is all. And right where you claim to be, God is right there. And I know what God is. God is love, unfailing love. And I also know who I am. I'm a son of God. I am right there reflecting God. My life is the reflection of this unfailing love. And therefore, I know the truth. And you shall know the truth, and it shall make you free. Now, practice this way and watch the demonstration automatically appear. And like the mist of matter separating, the illusion of the problem just scatters. And the reality that there is no problem becomes manifest. That's how you demonstrate a true spiritual miracle and a teaching that you can use again and again and again.